Now I would like to give the floor to Mekin from Awak Essien from the African Union, speaking in his personal capacity on closing the governance gap with African perspectives on inclusive AI frameworks for international peace and security. Please, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm a storyteller, so I'll start with carrying you along. Imagine a room where the rules for technology, war, and education with regards to AI and surveillance, and the people most affected by it are not in the room. Imagine a security framework designed to govern a city, written entirely by people who have never visited the city, who don't speak the language, who have never experienced the specific vulnerabilities its residents are facing. This is not a hypothetical statement. That is, in essence, what is happening now in Africa and the global AI governance. So to give a bit of context, Africa is not on the sidelines of AI revolution. AI-powered tools are being deployed across the continent at a remarkable pace in healthcare, in agriculture, in financial services, and increasingly in security and conflict environments. AI is shaping how wars are fought, how surveillance is conducted, how disinformation spreads, how peace is brokered. These are not future scenarios, they are present realities. And yet, the frameworks being built to govern this risk, the standards, the norms, the safety benchmarks remain overwhelmingly concentrated in high-income countries and economies. The countries most vulnerable to destabilizing effects of ungoverned AI are least represented in the rooms where the rules are being written. Africa is home to over 19% of the world's population, and it's the fastest growing region on AI adoption, and it's operating with some of the most complex security environments on the planet. We are talking about conflict-affected zones, multilingual societies, fragile institutional ecosystems, and significant lack of compute sovereignty. That is the landscape that we are operating in. And yet, Africa remains almost entirely absent from the multilateral tables where AI, safety, and frameworks that would govern the systems and the international peace and security are being built. That combination of rapid AI development and structural representation in governance is not just an equity or fairness problem. It's both a governance failure and peace and security problem, because frameworks designed without the contextual knowledge of the environments they will operate in are incomplete at best and dangerous at worst. Drawing from my direct experience deploying digital innovation initiatives across Africa, I would want to name 3 critical governance fault lines. And the first is exclusion from standard settings. What is shaping AI safety norms in concentrated high-income countries, the technical benchmarks and safety standards being developed for AI systems largely reflect the threat models, languages, and institutional context of their creators. African states lack consistent representation in technical standard settings processes, not because of disinterest, but because of structural barriers, resource constraints, limit compute sovereignty, and sheer pace at which these processes move. When these systems are deployed in environments where they were never designed to understand, they do not fail safely. They fail in ways that deepen conflict, erode trust in institutions, and accelerate instability. The result is a growing gap between systems being deployed and the governance frameworks that are meant to manage them. So the second fault line is asymmetric security risk. AI systems designed without contextual understanding of conflict-affected, multilingual, and low-resource environments carry embedded risk. A facial recognition system, for example, trained predominantly on one demographic, a content moderation algorithm that cannot process local languages, a predictive policing tool calibrated for different social contexts entirely. When this systems are deployed in fragile or post-conflict settings, the consequences are not abstract, they are actually human. Third fault line is absence from dual-use governance discourse. A conversation about AI that both civilian and military applications is one of the most consequential of our time. We are talking about lethal autonomous weapons, AI-enabled surveillance, and decision-making in conflict. It's happening largely without African voices, and yet African states are increasingly on the receiving end of these technologies, both as users and also as affected populations. So, what do we do about it? The UN has pointed us in the right direction. The General Assembly's Resolution 79239 and Resolution 8056 both affirm the importance of safe, secure, and trustworthy AI and call for inclusive and multilateral approaches in AI governance. These are not just aspirational statements, they are mandates. What I propose is a tiered, inclusive governance model, one that enables meaningful African participation in AI security framework without requiring the equivalent technological capacity as a prerequisite. Participation cannot be conditional on parity. Inclusion must be structural and not invited. This means dedicated African representation on technical norms setting bodies. It means co-designing governance frameworks with institutions that understand our conflict-affected context. And in closing, I would like to say the goal of AI governance is, especially for international peace and security, is at its heart for protection of the people, not just one set of people, but all the people. And the governance gap is real, but not inevitable. Closing it is not charity, but a choice. And the choice starts with who we invite into the room and whose perspective we treat as essential rather than optional. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mekinfon.